Okay, so for the first one we have several steps. We're going to find X-intercepts. We're going to determine if each X-intercept bounces or goes through. We're going to find the Y-intercept. And then we're going to determine in behavior, which are the arrows. So I'll just say determine the arrows. Okay, to find the X-intercepts, remember there are going to be 3 of them. You're going to set each one of them equal to 0. I'll tell you it's the middle one that most people had trouble with. Because of this 2 right here, when you set this whole thing equal to 0, the answer is not going to be positive 1. It's going to end up being a fraction. So the first thing you want to do is you want to set all of your X-intercepts equal to 0. And solve them. And then you're going to have 3 points on your graph, 3 points on your X-intercept graph here. You're going to have 1 over here, and you're going to have 2 on this side over here. Okay. Based on the multiplicity, or the exponent on each one of these X-intercepts, so this one's a 2, and then these 2 are both 1s, we have to decide which of these X-intercepts bounces. Only one of them bounces. The one that has an even exponent bounces. So this X-intercept that's going to end up being at -2 is going to bounce. All right, if I solve this one, I get that X-intercept is at -2. This is the one that bounces. The other 2 are going to go through. So when I draw my curve, that's the one that bounces. The other 2 that are over here are going to go through. To find the Y-intercept, we plug in 0 for X. So it looks like this: 0 plus 2 squared, 2 times 0 minus 1, 0 minus 3. If you simplify this, don't forget that negative out there, it's really important. This is 0 plus 2. That still has to be squared before the negative happens. So this is going to end up being -4. And then we have 2 times 0 is nothing, but I still have minus 1. And then I have the -3 over here. So you're going to multiply this all together, and that's going to be your Y-intercept. I will tell you that the Y-intercept is negative, so it's going to be down here, because look, these 2 negatives are going to cancel each other out and be positive, but then you have that third negative right there. And it's also off of the grid a little bit. It doesn't fit on the graph exactly. Okay, and then we have to determine the in behavior. The in behavior is based on the degree of the polynomial, which is where we add up all of the exponents. So I have 2, 3, 4. So the degree is 4, which is an even number, which means my ends are going to do the same thing. They're either going to both open up or they're going to both open down. This negative right here is telling me that they are both going to open down. So I'm going to have an arrow over here on my graph and an arrow over here on my graph. So I'm not finishing the whole problem for you, but you're going to start here. The first thing you're going to do is come up and bounce off of this X-intercept right here. You're going to go down and get your Y-intercept, which is off the graph a little bit. And then you have another X-intercept here somewhere, pretty close right here. You're going to go up some amount that you feel good about, and then you're going to come back through another X-intercept that's here somewhere, and you're going to connect to that arrow. So your graph is going to look something like this. That should be good.